Minneapolis Institute of Art, otherwise known as MIA.
As you can see, it is the busiest weekend of the whole year. Well, it is an exhibition every year that, like I say, florist or garden clubs put together bouquets of flowers that portray paintings on the walls. So it's a double exhibit. It'd be the painting and what somebody's view to portray that painting in flowers.
Talk about the Chihuly glasswork right behind us.
Well, Dale Chihuly is a glass artist from Seattle, around Seattle, Washington area. And he has gotten to the point now where he just designs, but he has a huge crew that blow this glass and all the designs that he comes up with. So it's all over, all over the world actually.
Yeah, what then? What's your extensive knowledge, Mom?
My extensive knowledge is pretty good up here, but I can't get it out here. Anyways, it's a beautiful combination. It really resembles a painting. You have the darker colors, you have the tree, but what's interesting, this is called Cottage on Fire, and the florist has brought in all the bright fire, oranges and reds, the colors in the middle to represent the cottage burning. This is gorgeous.
Hi, my name's Kate Zabrowski. I'm part of Barbie's Bloomers here in Minneapolis, and I want to tell you about our piece for Art in Bloom. This gal here, her name is Phyllis Harrell. She was 16 years old when she sat for her portrait. When we got to thinking about how we wanted to create a piece for Art in Bloom, we were inspired by the notion of a 16-year-old musician. So with that in mind, we know that 16-year-olds aren't the most subtle people, but they make up for that in passion and enthusiasm. And when we created our song with flowers, we wanted it to be a teenager song, something that was vibrant and fiery. We used a riot of colors in bold, geometric, graphic shapes, flowers that were exploding out into the world the way that young people do. And with that in mind, we know that irrespective of when people are born or where people are born or what their life has in store for them, when they are a 16-year-old musician, in their hearts they are a rock star, and we wanted to bring that forward for Phyllis here.
This is a portrait of the Virgin Mary being told by Gabriel that she's going to bear the Son of God. And this portrait in flowers, blue for Mary's robe and covering, red for Jesus' blood. We're very proud of this facility. It is a huge museum on par with many in the world. It has many different galleries for different types of art.
We're kind of whipping through it, but we've been here many, many times.
Like this is where I took the kids when they were very young, and consequently they've been to many museums throughout the world and have really liked to go there. I'm not making any sense.
Yeah, no,
either.
it sounds good to me.
Okay,
it's like, this is the beginning of the places that we've gone to, and we're pretty lucky to have this in Minneapolis.
I don't know if everybody around in Minnesota and the area know how grand and wonderful this museum is.
And it's free, and they've got a coffee shop downstairs, and plus we're right close to South Minneapolis where there's cafes and restaurants and coffee shops, and so it's a nice day trip. You want to talk about what's behind us over there?
Well, it's an entrance to one of the exhibits that the museum has. They have many, and this one is called Sunken Cities. Some archaeologists were diving right out of off of the shore in Egypt, and they found this sunken city. And for the last 20 years, they've been bringing up piece after piece after piece. And this is part of the exhibition. We've seen some of the Chinese soldiers that were found in that large, huge pit. You know, there are thousands of them, 10,000, I think. What else have we seen, Kale?
There was a Rembrandt exhibition here.
Yes. It's wonderful that in our city, these can come to us. And
that costs money to go in there. You have to get tickets ahead of time, and MIA itself is free, but you do have to pay for that.
This is a very creative arrangement. The colors are complementary, but what is really interesting about it is the small little types of flowers that bring out and resemble the mosaic tiles that make this whole painting. This is an old taken from probably some villa in Rome somewhere. And this is a contemporary piece, but it does bring it out, and it's complementary to the painting. I really like this one, not necessarily for beauty, but the colors, of course, coordinate with the painting. What I like is the strong semblance of these flowers that are standing upright, noble, almost majestic. And that's what our founding father was, our first president. He was a wonderful, noble man. And so this is a really interesting piece. All of the pillars represent Corinthian pillars, which are Greek. And this painting is representative of a Greek group of people, Grecians. This happens to be one of my favorite paintings in the museum, and it always has been, because I like realism. And this is beautiful. I love the rugs, I love the colors. This has always been very interesting to me. That is to represent the people in the painting, the different colors that they are wearing and of the rugs. So it just complements the colors of the painting.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
How do you know that?
I don't know. I'm 73 years old.
Good answer.
I love it.
This is by the artist Raffaello Monte. Now, look closely. Bring the camera in, honey. Look, he's in this hard stone, this marble. He's managed to create veiling over her face. I think that he is so good. And here, the floral piece is the veiling coming over. And this, of course, is a flower, the headpiece that she has on, and the flowers represent that veiling also. That is intricate and wonderful.
Here we are in the Impressionism area, and this is my favorite. What do you think about Impressionism?
I love Impressionism. I like the French Impressionists. We've seen different Monet and Cézanne and what are some of the other ones? There's a lot of them.
Gauguin.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah? Isn't he
And-
French? Gauguin?
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
I'll try to think of the rest of them.
Then there's more.
There's a lot more.
Okay, well, we thought of the rest of them that we can think of.
Well.
Go, Mom.
Well, Cézanne and it's Monet,
Which is
Manet.
this guy, right? This is Monet.
Manet, Renoir.
Okay, that's it for now.
Yeah. The blue in the back represents the ocean, and the colors of what he represents as the sand in the foreground. It's very good. But as you say, his work pops because his primary colors. And Gauguin, he started out as a fundamental artist, as most of the Impressionists did, and then he just slowly went into Impressionism.
Yep, that's true.
This is a menorah, and these, of course, are the candles and the light. And here are old dishes for Passover. Tomorrow on Palm Sunday, I'm going to a Messianic Jewish synagogue to have the Seder meal, which is the bitter herbs and the unleavened bread, all that they had to eat in a hurry to come out of Egypt. So this is very interesting. And there is where the Torah was carried. Inside are scrolls and Moses' Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. And that's so much of what the Jewish religion relies on, those books, the Torah. And of course it was so prized, like we prize our Bible, that it was often stored in beautiful objects like that.
Okay, so what was your favorite out of all the 3 floors that we just covered?
I don't know why, but that picture that I pointed out earlier it's a rug market. It's somewhere in the Middle East. The colors, the realism, it always has affected me. It's always been one of my favorites in the museum. About it.
So when you look at a painting or when you look at art, do you look at like the possible meaning behind it? Do you look at like what's going on, what the artist is trying to portray? Do you look at it as your interpretation, or are you like me and you just like really pretty impressionistic
I like that too.
Colorful.
But I like the meaning too. I mean, some years ago we took some of the grandkids to it must have been the Russian Museum, and I had them stand in front of a painting and tell me what it meant. Mm-hmm. And they'd never done that before, but they'd look at it and then they would tell me a bit of a story, what they thought it meant. And then I would add some things that I had either read or knew that was being told in that painting. So that was fun.
We took the kids here when they were younger, and we had a scavenger hunt, and that was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had to find things like a tree or this or that or a king or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was really good.
That's a good way to introduce children to a museum or to any type of museum.
Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, I think they have one of those on the website here. I think I made one up, but I think they have one.
Mm-hmm. It's a good place for kids to be introduced to art because most of us can't afford this in our homes. But it's a wonderful thing to appreciate somebody else's talent and the gifts that they've been given, and how this museum is wonderful, like I said. And this is just a taste of it. There's so much here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We didn't even go into the Asian room and the Japanese rooms and the jade and the cloisonne and all of those.
And there's the primitive African exhibit too. A lot of stuff that we just didn't touch on. So now we're just being redundant.
Right, so we'll just probably close.
We'll close it out. So we will see you in the next one. See you later.
Here's to you.
All right.